Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to another Gemini Scale Model Works video. In this video, which is going to be part of the under 1,000 group build sponsored by Mike over at Model Speed Shop, we are going to be doing this guy. Now, you guys are probably saying, how am I doing these cars so quick? Being a newbie, I don't know which kits are hard and which kits are easy. I just choose a kit because I like what I see on the box. Therefore, the first one, the 67, was, like I mentioned on my previous video, it could have been done in 48 hours. This one is very similar to that. Now, I'll show you what I'm talking about. There are very, very few parts in this kit, and they're all ready to get primed up and then ready for paint. Here's my rear traction bars. Here's my front axle springs, my blower assembly, fan belts, my differential, and the engine. Now, I started working on this, and I got the engine pretty far along already. Now this particular engine gets a magneto according to the instructions. So the same company that I showed you guys about the distributors also makes magneto. So I'm going to get a magneto from them. Now, I have a question for the community. I have noticed on every set of wheels I do, they don't fit correctly. What I'm saying is, they don't get a really good tight fit around the bead of the tire. And this one here was actually even worse than what it is right now. I cured the problem by sanding the white thing down so it fit closer. What do you guys do? Do you leave it alone? How do you fix it? I mean, to me, it was like, I should have showed you before I actually did this, but it was sticking out really, really far. Now, at least, it's closer, and I might just sand it down just a bit more. Now, my next question is, once you get it to fit right, do you actually glue the two pieces together? Alright, the front wheels, they worked out really nice. They worked out really good. They fit really nice in the back and everything like that. The engine just needs to get the top piece, and then the belt, which is here, is going to be painted. But otherwise the engine is complete. So I'm hoping to get excuse me, I'm hoping to get this car standing on all four wheels, and the body. Okay, boys and girls, like I started to mention about the body, as you can see, it is in there in the spray booth, and it's getting ready for its first primer job. You can see I'm going to use the Vallejo primer because that's what I have on hand at this particular time. And then I will I will hit it with primer and see how it looks. And if it looks good, I'll go ahead and hit it with a color. Now, the color is another MCW, and it's going to be a real cool color. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll surprise you with that. Anyhow, let's get back to the bench and see what else is going on. Be right back. Okay, boys and girls, we're back at the bench, and pretty much this kit is, this is probably about 50% of the kit right here. I'm going to get it all primed up and ready for paint. I will use some various colors on it so it breaks up the monotony of one color. I don't know what I'll do with this. I might do the tub part of this in aluminum, or that metallic stuff by Rust-Oleum, and then the rest of it in steel or something like that. Anyhow, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and do this and start putting this car together, and let's see where we can get to. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to the workbench. What you're looking at right now is the difference in the height of the springs on this differential. Look at this one here. I could pass this under And this one here, not quite as much. But that, I think, is going to create a problem here in a little while. You see that? Look how much is bent up. I tell you, there's not one thing, it's always another. Anyhow, these few components are going to go onto the chassis, which I have painted. All the black you see is NATO black, and all the chrome looking stuff or aluminum looking stuff is Rust-Oleum metallic paint. I painted the upper part here, and I will do the same for the floor pan when it's in there. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and put this guy together and get him standing up on his wheels. So let's begin. I guess we'll start with the back one there, because that looks like it's going to be the worst. I'm going to use this Bob Smith Industries, and this is MaxiCure, and this is extra thick. Let's go to the other camera. So put something in my little tray here. And this is thick. I'm really squeezing this bottle. Alright, there you go. And we will use the old trusty toothpick. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to the bench. And I have done quite a bit since I was off camera. I actually went ahead and drilled all the holes for my spark plugs on both sides. And I had mentioned also drill the holes to the starter, one in the solenoid and one on the block. I do it as close to realistic as possible. So anyhow, I mentioned in that video that this car will be getting a magneto rather than a distributor. And this company, Scale Repos Plus, happens to make magnetos. Now this one is 1/24th, 25th, and 16th scale. Now I did notice that this looks kind of big to be for 125, 1/24th scale, but it doesn't look too bad. Anyhow, this is the product. This is exactly the way it comes, all wired up, ready to go. It's got a flat bottom, so you can just mount it right to the engine wherever it needs to go. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on and get the engine, at least the spark plug wires all hooked up and stuff like that. And then I'll bring you guys back. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to show you the completed engine right now. And as you can see, I got my magneto mounted. It is kind of big, but it fits in there. I mean, it doesn't overpower everything. All the wires, I didn't go through any firing order or anything like that. The way the wires came out of the magneto is the way I put them into the spark plug holes. A little AC glue in there. I mean, AC, CA. To hold the spark plug wires in. My starter wires, positive and negative. There is no radiator hoses, there is no heater hoses on this. In fact, there's not even a fan on this. So basically, this engine is ready to go into the vehicle. Now, at the beginning of this video, I told you that I wanted to get this car standing up on all fours. And here we go. Oops. I only have these white glued in place because there's still some work I need to do on the chassis. For instance, I can't believe that they put a straight axle in the front with no radius arms. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, because that thing would be wiggly wobbly, I would think, especially if this car does a wheelie and just comes down hard on that. That's going to freaking collapse. Anyhow, I went online and I did find some some radius rods that I'm going to be putting in here. Again, the wheels are just white glued in place because I'm going to have to take them off to do some more work. I can't put the front shocks on until I start to assemble the roll cage assembly, because the front shocks get hooked up to one of these guys. As you can see, it's already painted, and that goes on the chassis like this, blah blah blah, and then the shock absorber gets hooked up to this guy. So with all that being said, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Gemini Scale Model Works out for now. Bye.